Thank you for joining me for this month's virtual Curators tour. I'm Britt Mitchell, Associate Curator of Exhibitions at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art, and I will be your tour guide today. We will be exploring Sam Gilliam, his Art of Printmaking. This exhibition was organized by Landau Traveling Exhibitions, Los Angeles, California, in association with Griot's Gallery in the Center for Haitian Studies in Miami, Florida. Preliminary text and research was conducted by Bruce Weber, independent art historian. This exhibition is supported by the Edward D. and Ione Auer Foundation. Most know Sam Gilliam for his recognizable suspended drape paintings, which brought him acclaim in the Washington Color School in the 1960s. In the following decades, Gilliam's innovations in printmaking brought a new vibrancy to abstraction. Lacking formal training, Gilliam was apprehensive to produce prints at first, until the 1970s when he was instructed by printmakers nationwide. Throughout his experience collaborating with printmakers such as William Weege and Lou Stovall, he learned how to translate the bold colors, crisp line work, and fluid movement of his paintings into print. Gilliam continuously pushed the boundaries of what printmaking could produce by layering, collaging, and stitching prints together. Eventually, Gilliam's printmaking process became so complex that William Weege admiringly proclaimed that there was, quote, almost no way to reconstruct the creation of Gilliam's prints, so many were the means. Gilliam created his first prints in conjunction with Lou Stovall, a printmaker who established Workshop Incorporated in Washington, D.C. in 1968, working almost exclusively with screen prints. Collaborating together, their first print was Dance, Purple, in 1972, commissioned by the Arthur Mitchell Dance Company and the Kennedy Center in D.C. Their printing process involved whatever elements Gilliam had in his studio and whatever tools and techniques Stovall knew to achieve their desired result. This print and its variations all contain a deep purple, Gilliam's favorite color, as it had, quote, a depth. It's a romantic color, it's royal, unquote. Dance, Purple confirms the romantic nature of the color, combining it with red, pink, and blue in spontaneous and meandering layers. Flowers No. 2 was created alongside Bill Weege at Weege's Jones Road Print Shop and Staple in Barneveld, Wisconsin. Weege encouraged Gilliam to freely combine media and printing techniques, which Flowers No. 2 is the perfect culmination of these experiments in the boundaries between sculpture and printmaking. This is the second edition in a series of 20, combining the mediums of woodblock printing, collaged handmade paper, painting, encaustic, and marble pieces in a wooden frame. Unique to this work is how the mediums are bowed out and warped together. This is one of the pieces that shows Gilliam's skill experimenting with different mediums and techniques to produce an innovative end result. Working again with Stovall in 1987, Gilliam produced In Celebration to celebrate the opening of the S. Dillon Ripley Center in the National Mall. Gilliam appreciated Stovall's approach to printmaking because of the consistency of his experimentation. He was never formulaic and continued to produce innovative prints to make screen printing a more appreciated medium. One prominent feature of his work is Gilliam's famous approach to raked painting strokes, which is more developed within his later work. In Celebration is a good example of how he explored color, texture, line, and format, using geometric shapes and aluminum powdered pigments to create a rich atmosphere. Within the layers of the print, the metallic sheen of the ink shimmers as one passes in front of it. The fourth work of art featured here is interestingly titled Purple Antelope Space Squeeze. In 1987, Gilliam's mentor Weege established a fine art printmaking press and gallery, Tandem Press, in affiliation with the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Gilliam was the first artist invited to the studio to create prints. Purple Antelope Squeeze Space was Tandem's first editioned work. Working with his mentor Weege, Gilliam sent a preliminary drawing of the shape of paper he wanted, as well as a mold matching the specifications. Initially, a relief print was created using elements of woodblock print and lithography inks. However, it continued to shift as Gilliam collaged with painted handmade paper, used inked and uninked metal relief plates, as well as steel and zinc etchings and aquatint plates. Lastly, He hand-painted surface details while the inks were all still wet to prepare them for their final printing. This piece highlights Gilliam's innovative and improvisational approach to printmaking, where, quote, "the surface is no longer the final plane of work. It is instead the beginning of an advance into the theater of life." One of Gilliam's most striking pieces is titled For Xavier, which is a screen print made in 1990. This was a commissioned piece for Xavier University in support of fundraising efforts by civic leader and chief operating officer of Stevie Wonder Enterprises, Timothy Francis. In vibrant color, Gilliam created a print that emulated his sculptural paintings that were made up of acrylic on canvas, enamel on aluminum, and constructed with plywood structures. This print features Gilliam's signature raking marks, first developed in the 1980s, and successfully captures three-dimensional qualities on a two-dimensional surface. Thank you for joining me for this virtual Curators tour. If you would like to experience one of America's most experimental abstract artists' work in person, we encourage you to see Sam Gilliam, His Art of Printmaking, before it closes on October 27th.